everybody. This is Melissa, your free-range psychic, coming to you on Sunday, July 30th. Today, I am going to do a reading on Putin and the KGB, and this is something my guides really want me to do. I wasn't really looking all that forward to it because it is dark material, but they say we really need to know. Not that we don't know, and I know I've talked about it before regarding all the Russian interference, etc. But I don't know if we, and it's hard to conceive of how much we have been influenced by Russia's involvement and infiltration of social media and the mainstream media and the narrative, not just in the United States, but globally. I mean, look what happened with Brexit. That was due to Russian interference led by Steve Bannon. And they were able to infiltrate social media and split the UK apart to bring about the withdrawal of the UK from the European Union, and that has been disastrous. And Putin knew it would be disastrous. It would weaken the alliance of the Western nations, and it would also allow a foothold for Russia potentially. I mean, they had and have still an overview of not just conquering Ukraine, but conquering the whole of Western Europe. I'm telling you, it is Hitlerian. So they have tried to, and have successfully in some way, infiltrated Italy, France. All those different countries now have large separatist movements who are anti-Semitic and homophobic and against the democratically elected governments. So come to our country, coming to focus on our country, of course, we know that they were involved in installing Donald Trump into power using social media and the mainstream media. And when I talk about mainstream media, Rupert Murdoch, and I have done a video on Rupert Murdoch, if you look in my videos, he has a very close affinity and alliance, a working alliance with Putin. I've always thought of Fox as like a portal that uses KGB brainwashing tactics to speak to the emotional center of the audience and cut them off from their critical thinking and get them to believe that, and I said this in another video, but Stephen Colbert, when he had his Colbert show, talked about truthiness. It sounds good. There's no rationality to it, but he got people used to and almost addicted to that adrenaline rush of, yeah, that feels right, and addicted to fear, addicted to anger, addicted to feel they were being persecuted. That was not just a random, that type of almost subliminal programming was and is still going on. And the height of that is Tucker Carlson, who's now no longer there because of inflammatory things. And I think that also didn't he bring them down? I mean, huge fines from Dominion and Smartmatics for the big lie. But you have Tucker Carlson and Sean Hannity and those people being also very closely involved and friends with and in constant communication with, even during July 6th, with President Trump. So when we talk about conspiracy theories, there really is a conspiracy going on here. So this all came from Putin and his KGB perspective, where divide and conquer, flood the population with disinformation, get them fighting amongst themselves, divide and conquer, create a cult for your leader, and then we take over then. And we create chaos, and we create all these challenges that are, even lethal, so that because we're a little country, and that's how we will win. We will come in that way. Trojan horse, Manchurian candidate. So I did get some tarot on that, but just 4 cards to just, illustrate it via tarot. So the first card they gave me was the Devil, and this is Vladimir Putin, and other world leaders too, but it's his KGB tactics that are really at the forefront, I do believe. That's why it's very hard to uncultify these people, to get them out of the cult, because they have been brainwashed, and the KGB knows how to do that. They study the human psyche. They study the neurology of the brain. They know how to get the brain to become so inflamed emotionally that it's not communicating with the thinking centers of the brain. It's a science, and they use science. Trust me on that. So this is Putin, the Devil, and he has evil intention in this, and to burn down the world, because this has impacted so many people, so many countries, the world, and now the world's burning up. And I don't forget that, and I believe this is in alignment with the big corporations, the libertarians that don't want. I'm not saying all big corporations, but people like the Koch brothers and the corporations that don't want any regulations, and then they create this through quasi science, right? Through fake science, this counter argument that tries to bring the very real reality of catastrophic climate change into an aboutism, or whataboutism. There's 2 sides. Let's hear them both. They're both equal. No, one is rooted in total disinformation, but part of the KGB goal, and quite successfully so, was to implant it as like, no, this is an argument, you have to listen to this, it's just as valid as the other. Let's gaslight. But as a result, what happens? We have the world on fire. But that's intended, which is so hard to imagine why somebody would want to intend that, but that's intended. And then the next card they give me is the Moon. So the Moon is gaslighting. The Moon is coming in through QAnon, through undercover of darkness, through the dark web, and then through social media, through undercover agents, through secret allegiances and secret alliances, things that happen in back alleys in the dark of night, in rooms like the Willard Hotel, where secret meetings take place. Back channels are established to bring this in, to bring the devil's intention in. The next card is the Magician. So this is gaslighting. This is the media, and you'd be surprised how much of it is owned by corporate billionaires who are libertarians, who are in alliance with Putin. And that's a brilliant tactic. It was something I'm sure he thought of, and something that he set out a long time to accomplish, to bring away the media. And from the fairness doctrine, and think about his infiltration into the Supreme Court. Even we can see that too. He and his whomever is behind him, helping him, they really have been able to, over time, with the help of the present GOP, people like Musk, very, very powerful people, and look at Musk with, now taking Twitter away, and now it's X, which makes no sense. It doesn't make any sense, and it feels like a defilement of Twitter to put his stamp, so egotistical, but that also brings in chaos. That also diminishes free flow of information, and allowing the intent to allow the magician to come in here, and you will believe what I want you to believe. No matter, don't believe what you see. Don't believe what anybody else tells you. Just believe what I'm showing you. I own the narrative. You are getting sleepy. You are getting very sleepy. Now I own you. You must worship me. that comes through here too. And then there's only 4 cards here. This card is the result, which is the Tower, and that's the intent too of the devil, to come in and destroy democracy, to bring societies into chaos. And it's happening all over the world with wars and with mercenaries, etc., like Prigozhin's Wagner Group in Africa, to exploit, to destroy, to bring down. But at the same time, the Tower always has more than one meaning, and we are seeing, Putin now being threatened allegedly by the Russian mafia, Russia falling apart, Ukraine winning, getting the assistance of the Western democracies, and so his KGB plan destabilized him in the end. It's his downfall. And I asked my guide, so what is and I guess I could have gotten the star out. See if I can find it here. I asked the guides, what is the remedy? Is there a remedy? Is there salvation at the end of all this? Is there healing? That's the star. Yes, the guides told me what has been done can be undone. And when Putin dies, when he loses his power, when his government topples, we will see a resurgence, like a forest can burn down and it looks totally scorched and burned and nothing could ever grow there again, but then you see these new shoots of life coming up, and then it becomes extremely verdant over time, and there's a forest there again. That they foresee for us. And they showed me that, I'm not saying all the people, but many of the people who've been brainwashed, the spell will be broken. And it is like this mesmeric, magical spell, dark spell, that will be broken. And some people will be freed from it. The spell will end. And I imagine that if Putin does fall, his government falls, and another ruler or another more progressive government hopefully comes in over time, why would they spend money on troll farms? They're not going to continue to pay ridiculous amounts of money to people like MTG, allegedly, or whomever they have working for them. Okay, so we have an oracle card. I believe I used this last week. I think I did. Queen of the Moon Oracle deck by Stacey Demarco. And the card, and this is to honor the full moon that's coming on Tuesday. Hot Moon. Extremes. Learn how to handle crises with calm and resilience. Seeking balance is superior to seeking extremes. There are better ways to handle conflict than rage and outrage. I handle extremes with grace. I seek balance in all things. Most of us have experienced extremes of weather, boiling hot days or the freezing of snow and ice. You certainly know you are alive because the sensation can be so overwhelming or stressful in the body. The hot moon appears in the hottest time of the year, when the days are longest and the rain less frequent. Similarly, we can experience extremes in life, deaths, job losses, relationships, breakdowns, true fears, big conflicts, booms and busts. And yet, this is life. Our situation can change quickly for the better or for the worse. The full moon challenges us to build our resilience and reserve of wisdom and calm for these times when things are at their extreme. It reminds us that developing grace under pressure is worth it. It's worth its weight in gold. And that even these extremes in time will pass. Extremes. Okay, you guys, hope everybody's well. I am still available for personal readings. My information's below in the description box, or at the end of the musical interlude, which is coming up next. Hope you stick around for that. Please like, subscribe, and share. Check if you've been unsubscribed from my channel. For some reason, the algorithm is doing that to me. I think to a lot of us. I always try to explain what I read on. I read on past lives. I read on anything in the present. I'm a medium, and I love to introduce you to your guardian angels. You guys, please take care. Stay well. Stay cool if you can. And I will be back next Sunday. Bye-bye, okay? See you soon. Bye.